You know what's weird? Sometimes I walk into a pub all alone, surrounded by strangers, and yet feel very comfortable. And sometimes when I walk into a fine dining establishment, the music is a lot quieter, it makes me feel alone, and even intimidating sometimes. It's kind of strange because if you think about it, pubs are a lot louder. The music is a lot louder. There's people laughing, talking, sharing stories, there's glasses clinking, alcohol flowing. It almost feels like a bit of a chaos, but it still makes you feel very warm. If you think about it, pubs were historically known as public houses and were not designed for drinking. They were created so that people, like strangers, could come in, sit down, share a meal and a drink, and share some stories. Everything about a pub, the dim lights, the music, the dark wood, the ambience, is created in a way so that people can feel welcome when they come into a pub. And humans have been creating such spaces for centuries. If you think about it, emotionally, pubs feel a lot different compared to most other hospitality establishments. Cafes feel calm, bars feel energetic, restaurants are intentional, but pubs feel very familiar. I've noticed that even when I travel, whether it's in Australia, Europe, wherever I go, if I ever walk into a pub in a new city, it always still feels very familiar. It still feels very comforting. It still feels very warm. And there's psychology behind that. Humans usually associate noise, warmth, and shared spaces to be very comforting and safe. And that's why pubs usually use dark woods, closer seating, dim lights, louder ambient noise, slightly louder than normal music. Ambient noise and shared spaces makes humans feel very comfortable and safe. Well, silence does quite the opposite. And that's why some of the best conversations usually happens at pubs. And some of the best conversations that I've had, be it with my friends or sometimes even with strangers, are usually at a neighborhood pub late at night. We share stories, and deepest conversations are usually at a pub. And a lot of this originally comes from where pubs came from. Long before modern restaurants, people needed a place to stay, rest up, get some food and drink while traveling. This is where inns, taverns, alehouses, and pubs come in. They're all quite different from each other. Inns were places for people to stay and rest up for the night. Alehouses were mostly local gathering place for people to get a drink. Taverns were places for social gatherings, and pubs or public houses were places for community gathering with food and drinks. Pubs were never designed for drinking. They were built for gathering. And I guess that purpose never really changed. And the food and beverage that are served at a pub just evolved around the concept of gathering and feeling comfortable. Food and drinks at pubs evolved around comfort and familiarity. Foods like heavy stews, roasted meats, breads, pies were served so people could feel full and relaxed after a full day's work or travel. A lot of it hasn't changed even today. Food at pubs is about familiarity, it's about comfort, it's about an emotion, and it's not about taste anymore. Pubs weren't built around exclusivity or status, they were built around community. And beer at pubs were casual, social, and shared. And that feeling still exists today. And that's why pubs feel a lot less transactional than most hospitality spaces. And I think that's why pubs still matter today. People go to pubs to meet with a friend, to watch sport, to unwind. And sometimes it's not even about food or drinks. It's about how the place makes them feel. And honestly, some of the best conversations I've had with strangers are at pubs. People don't go there with a purpose. It's not about networking, it's not about productivity, it's not about social media. It's just about being around people. And I think that's why pubs feel way different than a lot of other modern spaces. Good hospitality is never about food or beverage. It's about creating spaces where people feel comfortable to connect. And that's why I think pubs have been around for centuries. Humans will always need a place where they feel welcome, where they're relaxed, where they're comfortable, and unjudged. And honestly, probably that's what great hospitality has always been. Anyway, thank you for joining me on this one. I do have a lot more interesting topics and subjects to share with you in the future, so stay tuned. Take care.